Welcome to this episode of the Sports Detective Podcast Show. My name is James Williams, and today we discuss why Kevin Durant chose the Brooklyn Nets over the New York Knicks. Why are we talking about this? Well, on this show that I don't know what the show is called, but it's something that I saw from Boardroom, which is Kevin Durant and his agent Rich Kleiman's content company, which makes a lot of really good stuff, by the way. Him and Rich Kleiman are having like a conversation at night in a backyard, it appears, and there's like a fire there. And basically, they talk about the 2019 summer. And Kevin Durant says, shockingly, in my opinion, that his agent and his dad were telling him in the summer of 2019 to pick the Knicks over the Brooklyn Nets. So we will go ahead. I will play this. It's about a 2-minute video here of them talking, and then we will talk about it afterwards.
Do me a favor. Will you tell the camera and whatever Knicks fans will watch this that I wanted you to go to the Knicks, bro? Please.
Definitely did. Definitely did. More than anything.
Like, you've left me so... I'm on an island in New York right now. Like, I really, like... Because then all of a sudden I was all in Brooklyn. Like, I left 42
I know that was so hard.
years.
It was so hard to do.
Of an obsession.
And that's why I love you so much, because I knew, and that's probably the toughest thing about anything.
That was tough. That was tough for us.
It was.
That was tough for us because you thought I had blinders on. You thought I had like whatever, like rose-colored
like
glasses.
Nick blinders.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But at the same time, I thought that like, I was just like, dog, just come to the garden.
You were, if anybody was like my dad, you love the Knicks.
Oh yeah, your dad was with me. Heavy.
My aunt loved the Knicks. Yeah. Everybody, I mean,
you're always going to do what you want and what you think is best for your profession and your game. And I respected that. Do me a favor, clear up something you said for me 5 years ago. Admit the Knicks are cool. Come on, bro.
At that time, they weren't. I mean, the Knicks weren't cool, but they are a cool brand. Like when the Knicks are like on, like right now, when they popping right now, they're playing well. Last few years, they were playing well. But before that, they wasn't playing well.
But you knew the brand was cool.
The brand was cool, but at the time, I'm not looking at the cool brand outside of the game. I was looking at the team, and the team was not cool to play for. The team was not cool to watch. It wasn't a good team to watch. I might have embellished a little bit or lied a little bit about like the brand. I might have like threw the brand.
There we go. It's cool, bro.
But yeah, of course, the Knicks brand, like New York. Living in New York made me truly realize how it's the greatest city in the world.
It really is, brother.
It really is. And there's nothing, I don't think there's no other city that can compete. I mean, not compete. That's going to top it. It's cities that can compete, sorry. But to top New York and just be like, no.
And that's just a testament to you, how like, no matter how you feel, because you were happy there, you go what's best for you in the game and your relationship with the game, it feels like.
Oh yeah, for sure. For sure. That's anywhere I go.
All right, guys. So there you have it. Kevin Durant, a lot of that stuff we've heard before. One thing I hadn't heard before is basically him saying that, like, hey, everyone in my inner circle was telling me to go to the Knicks. And that is what is very shocking to me. Now, I want to talk about a little bit more of like why he actually chose the Nets here in a minute, but I want to kind of address his points here of what he said. He was like, well, they weren't a cool team to watch at that time, which he's not wrong about. The Knicks were an utter and abject disaster for the majority of the 21st century outside of like one Carmelo Anthony playoff series. Other than that, it was just a bunch of crap. It was an absolute dumpster fire. It was just utterly disgusting. It was absolutely terrible. They were just an utter mess in every certain way, whether it's bad contracts, terrible GM hires, terrible trades, terrible, head coaching hires. It was just a line of just terribleness and just ineptitude for multiple decades. So them choosing the Nets over the Knicks because of that, to a degree, makes a little bit of sense. With that being said, though, Were the Nets cool? Have the Nets ever been cool? If that's your logic, because it's like, all right, cool. They made one playoff series before you guys came there. And it's one thing too to just say like, hey, I really, why if Kevin this is what Kevin Durant would say. Well, I joined Golden State because I really liked the culture that they had built there, the way they played basketball, the team basketball that they played together. I liked their coach Steve Kerr. I like guys like Steph Curry, Draymond Clay. That is why I went to the Warriors because of the people. And I thought I could win there because I thought those were winning people. And I thought they were winning people at the Nets, whether it's Kenny Atkinson, Sean Marks, and some of the young pieces that they had drafted and developed there. And they had been, they built a culture, and I wanted to join that culture. And it's in a big city and a big market, which also helps. If he said that, and that's what he's been saying, that makes sense. But with that being said, though, what doesn't make sense about that is when Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving joined the Nets, they grabbed a grenade, they pulled the pin out, and then they threw it on the culture and blew it all up. Guys, that when they joined the Nets, they made them sign DeAndre Jordan when the team already had Jared Allen. So they overpaid DeAndre Jordan. And then Kenny Atkinson, who was the head coach of the Nets, who hasn't even had a head coaching opportunity since then. He might get one this offseason. We'll see. But Kenny Atkinson kept playing Jared Allen and kept wanting to play Jared Allen over DeAndre Jordan, who was hashtag washed. And Katie and Kyrie were very mad about that. And they're like, well, we're paying DeAndre Jordan this money. And that's basically like, we want him to play. And that's basically why a big reason why Kenny Atkinson got fired, because he was playing Jared Allen over DeAndre Jordan. Meanwhile, when they do the James Harden trade, Jared Allen is a throw-in in that trade, which was done by the front office. I'll admit that. But then Jared Allen is good enough to go to the Cavaliers, and he makes an all-star team. So starting Jared Allen over DeAndre Jordan was the right move. It was the smart move. It was the logical move. It was the correct basketball move. And just to say that, like, well, we wanted the culture of the Nets, it's like, that's bull crap. And if you guys were just going to bulldoze the culture and you didn't care about the culture and you just wanted to go to a big city, then why wouldn't you do that stuff at the Knicks, where you could just kind of like, bulldoze them, and then you could make the trades that you want. You could still make the head coaching hires that you want. And even too, if you went to the Knicks and you guys did this stuff, that same stuff, if it played out the exact same way that it did in Brooklyn, that it did for the Knicks, everyone would probably blame James Dolan. And they would blame the Knicks franchise as a whole at their dysfunction. And they're just like, hey, they're so bad. There's something so wrong with the management structure of this organization that Kevin Durant, one of the 15 greatest players ever, and Kyrie Irving, one of the best players ever, they can't even come in and fix it. And in a way, you'd almost get a little bit of a cop-out, which again, I don't know, they probably don't care about that stuff. But in a way, in just like the basketball talk scheme of this thing, they get a cop-out where it's like, hey, it's the Knicks. And the Knicks, they're more to blame than the Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving thing, kind of bulldozing the culture. And on top of that point, to add to that point there, it's probably like, I know it was very hurt at the moment because the Knicks too, remember, they miss out on the Zion lottery and have to get RJ Barrett. And then and then I think it's the same summer. Yeah, it's the same summer as it's 19. That same summer, they thought they were potentially getting Zion. And then it's like, if you get Zion, then you do trade for AD, or you keep Zion. It was one of those things. Now Zion's career hasn't turned out the best so far, but still at the time it was like, holy crap, this is like, one of the next guys. And then you lose out on KD, Kyrie. It seemed like you were at an all-time low there if you were the Knicks, but in reality, hindsight's 2020. It's actually worked out better that they didn't do this. And because probably, like, if KD and Kyrie would have came to them to the Knicks, it probably would have turned out similar to the way the Brooklyn one did. They probably would have ended up, giving up a bunch of assets for James Harden. They probably would have had the same injury luck. Kyrie Irving probably still would have been weird about the vaccine, and they probably would have forced them to hire Steve Nash, and it just probably still would have been an utter disaster. So in a way, if you're a Knicks fan, it's actually worked out better for you. Where you guys, I think you guys have won either you've won the same amount of playoff series since that summer, or you've won more. After this year, it will definitely be more. But like, it's worked out for you guys, and you guys still have the assets now, and you're being patient, and you're building, and you have this tough, gritty team that plays defense and hustles, and it's got a bunch of guys on the team that get along together, and you guys have a star that you, in a way, lucked into in Jalen Brunson, which if you guys do the Kyrie Irving KD thing, you guys don't get Brunson. So in a way, it's just worked out perfectly for the Knicks. And here's the kind of the last point that I'll add onto this is again, I kind of said it there earlier where at the end of the day, because I was kind of thinking about, I'm like, geez, with the way that KD sees how the Knicks are really pumping right now, I was wondering, like, is there a part of him where he's just like, because we know why he went to the Nets, right? If everyone in his inner circle is telling him like, hey, Knicks, 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 and he's like, no, I'll go to the Nets. Do you think everyone in Kyrie Irving's inner circle was telling him Nets or Knicks? Kyrie Irving's a New Jersey kid. Kyrie Irving was a Nets fan growing up. So Kevin Durant probably just was like, hey, I really don't care too much, and Kyrie Irving wants to go to the Nets, so I'll go to the Nets with him. I just wonder if part of me wonders like if KD just kind of looks at like the way the success that the Knicks have. Now maybe it would take a championship or something. And I know he probably doesn't think like this. Because he's not like most people. But just kind of goes like, dang, we messed up. We should have done the Knicks. We should have done the Knicks because we could have ran that organization. We could have gotten our own coach. We could have forced them to make the same trades. Again, maybe they don't care because it's just like at the end of the day, like the chips were gonna fall in the direction that they did, and then the order that they did. But part of me just kind of wonders, like, because again, I'm not saying Kyrie Irving's a bad guy or anything, but just the fact that like KD kind of like ruined like you know a few years of his career there, kind of torpedoed them because he teamed up with him. He's one of the greatest players of all time, and you kind of wonder if you. And again, none of these stars want to go to these teams alone. Even when LeBron went to the Lakers, he's like, "Well, I know AD's coming. We're both part of the same agency. I know it's coming. I know it's probably coming." Um, or maybe even Paul George is coming or whatever. Kawhi's coming at that point. Like he knew another star was coming at some point. But yeah, part of me just kind of wonders if he ever thinks about that and what it would be like to be a Knick. I know he probably doesn't, but just kind of interesting to think. But again, I think it's probably the best thing that happened to the Knicks for them not to get KD and Kyrie, because now they can make a little bit of a playoff run this year. Maybe they can get another star. We'll see what happens. So that's going to do it for this episode here. If you got this far in the video, please hit that subscribe button. Please hit that like button. I really appreciate all of that stuff. It really helps support the show. It really helps us on the algorithm. Maybe leave a comment on your thoughts on this video, whether it's the content of it or if you liked it or not. I would just very much appreciate it. We've been doing the show for a few years now, just starting to put stuff on YouTube. We're starting to grow on YouTube. So hitting subscribe, hitting like really helps us out. So thank you very much. I'll talk to you next time.